Also, Darius blind coming in is an interesting choice from Brandavar. That will be met with an Irelia pick from Christian Simeone. There are still other picks on the table, but he decided, you know what, this is an angle where I'm confident I can win with this Irelia versus Darius, and we'll see if he's able to get enough of an advantage to turn the tides here. Because honestly, I feel like I would honestly rather play this GGL comp. So CHD have a Nautilus, and it's Christian Simeone on the team, and he usually likes to call for these early game moves, try and get an invade going, try and force some early summoners, maybe even get a kill. They will all move towards mid.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
And they're going towards the left side. And GGL have not spotted the enemy team in time. This could be Johnny G in trouble potentially. Duke of Jamming's walking in first. Went in for a hook blind. Perhaps expecting the Ace ult to be occupied with something else in the meantime, but Johnny G was perfectly ready for that one. And CHD will have to just settle for some vision down in their blue buffs jungle. That's going to be it. But even that information could be crucial. Both sides actually warded in that spot. Akram will be starting on the other side, it looks like. Okay, so they see the bot lane walking through, but decide against trading this early level 1. Good harass already from Brand. Westy's starting with bone plating. Maybe not as effective versus a lane like Brand. Christian Simeone looking to contest her at level 1. If he gets the push faster than a Darius, then he can potentially do something here. He gets level 2 first. Brandavar does not push fast enough, and he gets caught by the flawless duet. But Q follows. Christian Simeone expends his flash for a kill because why wouldn't he? And that's just the easiest level 2 kill we've seen this season. Coming in from the top lane side, Christian Simeone, he knows his champions. He knows exactly what he can and cannot do. And Brandavar, he did not contest level 1 aggressively enough. He just got caught with his pants down, honestly. I do not think this is something that should be happening this early in this matchup. And Ara is laying down the hurt right now with all this AoE. Still not being able to push this wave ult to the tower. This could become an issue for GGL's bot lane. It is quite risky for Westy to go in the way things are right now. If he decides to go in, he will be met with the cleanse from Aura on Fire, and then everything will just be unloaded on the Leona. That could end up in a kill. But here comes the first gank of the game from Jopé on Vi. And the red buff probably was enough to get that kill, but excessive force, the E, the blast zone, just for good measure. And this is Darius in a lot of trouble in this laning phase. Does not have the teleport. He has to walk all the way down to top. He will not be able to catch the minion wave in time. Well, actually, he may be able to catch most of it, because there's a cannon in the way, but I don't think Christian Simeone will let him. It's a level 3 versus level 4 advantage. He will try to just go for the kill, but he misses the stun though. And this could be... Yes, this is the moment where Christian Simeone just absolutely misjudges the situation. Tries too hard there. Maybe if he lands that stun, he would have still been able to do something, but that was overconfidence 100%. And that, I'm not sure if that gives Darius a window back into the game, but it does help him a little bit. But now Christian Simeone once again with a level advantage, going back in. And as we're seeing right now, that solo kill, it doesn't feel like it really turned the tides in a meaningful way, because it's still Christian Simeone in a very good position when it comes to the minion wave, and now he's going back in. Level 5 Darius, but he's still quite low on HP, will probably die, and so will the CHD members though on the other side. GGL managing to turn it around with the Hell of their jungler, and that is 2 kills on the bot lane play. Ekrim takes both. That is a rotation straight to the dragon, while Vi is on the other side of the map. So well done to GGL making this cross map play, taking advantage of what is happening topside. But this is rough. This is really, really bad news for Darius. I mean, if Vi had level 6 there, that would have just been curtains for Darius. But even then, just a very bad situation. You look at what's happening top, and the jungler is essentially there with the top laner just zoning him completely from the wave. The Decimate heals him just enough to be able to escape towards the tower, but they have to bail him out here. DGL. Azel coming in for the roam. Oh, what an apprehend! Brandivar heals himself with the Q outer range. They go in too hard on the dive. Darius is fighting back, even though CHD is putting down a lot of pressure just to try and keep him in a bad spot, but once again, a bit of a gifted kill for Brandivar. And now Christian Simeone could be in trouble next. Decimate heals the Darius, he will fall! Christian Simeone will fall to the Aurelian Soul, and GGL are now getting kill after kill, getting advantages across the board. Westy will kill with a W blast. And that is just Oswald beating down the Nautilus, but here comes Jaffe with a Stolen Battery onto the jungler. And that Encore is also going to hit Oswald at the same time, so chaotic disposition. What an answer from this team. Not really deterred by what happened topside, they continue to make these plays, and yeah, this is gonna be a chaotic game. It already is. We're seeing a lot of action all across the map. And this is what I was saying before the game started. GGL, they are not afraid to throw down. This is basically how it went against AST. Flawless duet lands once again. Nice pull from the Darius, but it was just outside of the tower range, so Christian Simeone is still very much ahead in these trades. Still has the experience lead, and he has all the Blade of Ruin King components, so he's still very much ahead in terms of gold. Well, Toxic Coffee just got caught there trying to get the grubs, but he was not allowed to do so. But meanwhile, GGL's bot lane once again getting kills. Unfortunately, Westy takes that one too, but Ara's getting punished for his poor positioning right now. And this is once again a rough position for Brandivar. Can't really walk up to the wave the way things are. He dodges the stun. Nice movement there. It was important that he thinned out the wave there because the jungler was close by. They could have just gone for the dive if the minion wave crashes the tower, but CHD opted against it. That doesn't really change the situation one bit. Because we're closing down on a situation where Christian Simeone could very well just dive the Darius himself, but I guess the kill threshold wasn't there. Now CHD's bot lane is potentially in some danger. They have a River Bush warded, but the wave is in a bad spot and Hecarim could come at any moment. Brand's cleanse is up, and he will use it here just in time, but here comes the unstoppable Hecarim uses his ultimate and gets that kill. Onslaught of Shadows is the name of that ultimate. I don't know why it just escaped my brain. But anyway, in GGL, it's just a very clear game plan that they're following. Playing towards bot lane right now, getting results. Meanwhile, Brandivar has to hold the line, but Vanguard's Edge is used by Christian Simeone, and that forces out the ghost from Adarius. Things are getting pretty tough. Wow. That ultimate from Aurelion Sol was actually enough to force out the Seraphine Flash. Pretty important cooldown. If you look at the next dragon and potentially what GGL want to do. But we see Christian Simeone rotating. We'll have to see what happens here. He's making his way back top, or is he? I mean, Johnny G just going for his really aggressive trade. Vekla is... he ulted way too late. The Encore actually whiffed. And Acel just gets that kill outright. And here, another kill follows as the jungler from Chaotic Disposition falls first. But here comes Aurelia. Blade of a Wind King completed. And CHD, they want to keep this fight going. They want this Drake for themselves. Aurelion Sol really low on mana. Toxic Coffee. He wants this smite. And he's going to jump in and get it. He doesn't even care that he's going to die. But no, he won't. Oh, followed up by the flash from Christian Simeone. He was angry. He did not want the Hecarim to escape there with his life. But this... like... this attitude, this bravado from GGL is really something to admire, honestly. Like, no matter the opponent, they will just go hard. And this is another game where we're seeing all of them just firing on all cylinders. Are on fire, misses out on the flash across the wall. And surely he's going to die next. But before, actually, Brand gets away somehow, but Brandivar could once again be the target for CHD. He'll have to be very careful here. I mean, he's so low on HP, surely this wasn't the play. You can't afford to stay under tower when Aurelia is this strong, but meanwhile, GGL trying to take advantage of Aurelia just not being able to participate in the fight. And they're just trying to kill the Vi before Aurelia can respond. CHD, they're not calling for this Aurelia. They're really confident in their abilities, apparently. They just want this Aurelia to take more plates, take down the tower. It looks like the call was right in the end. They managed to take some grubs for themselves, and no one dies in that situation. But it just goes to show that GGL will contest you on every objective that they can go to, realistically. I mean, Johnny G is just absolutely crushing Seraphine. The extended trades. Westy, that is not where you want to be, my friend. Are on fire, definitely enjoying that extra bit of gold. And with that, it's still a pretty even game. Although, the way things are, Christian Simeone is definitely the person to watch on the CHD team. If he can join his team in those fights, then that will mean a whole lot. But now, once again, the bot lane targeted by GGL. GGL, they really want to go, but it's CHD that will go straight onto the Misfortune, and all the ultimates stacked on top. GGL were not ready to respond, but the Asol ultimate is huge. Gets 1 kill in response. It's not all bad, but it was definitely a moment where CHD were more ready to pull the trigger, and they caught GGL in a very bad situation. Fortunately for them, it doesn't really mean that a dragon will be taken. There's still like a minute and 30 seconds until that happens. But both summoners now burned before that next dragon. Misfortune is helpless. So it'll have to be Johnny G mostly just potentially bearing the brunt of the engage, trying to get some attention of the enemy team towards him rather than Misfortune, but if you get caught up in that CC chain, you would not be able to escape. Duke of Jamming goes to be engaged, but Westy is here to get the Solar Flare off. Christian Simeone will just eat that and walk away. Murktred's definitely helping, but even then, GGL, it felt like they were not ready to take advantage of the Solar Flare. Now who can get to that river first? On the right side of your screen. The right side of the minimap, that is. Both teams now contesting for mid lane push, but it looks like CHD will just be able to strong arm their way towards the river. But then on the other side, Johnny G actually was able to push the wave all the way out. And he's potentially in a spot where he could be a bit of a problem for CHD. Quinn Jave falling down to about 60% HP. CHD feeling a little bit apprehensive about this one. And it does feel like they just are just deciding to give this one away. And Christian Simeone, his TP is not coming out. GGL decided to go for the fight anyway. The Sky's descent from the Aurelian Soul. The Aurelia is not here once again. It has to be said. CHD are taking this fight without their top laner present, and GGL are just crushing it. One by one, members fall, but our on fire actually managed to get one for himself. But even then, I think it stands to reason. I mean, you have to just question the decision to go in there, or rather to contest the dragon, when you know your top laner is getting so much done topside. You decide to give that objective away, I feel like you just have to commit to either option. And CHD lose out in a situation where they should be even further ahead. Now they'll have to deal with a potential Cloud Soul after this. And the Aurelian Soul also looking quite strong. We're looking at 245 stacks at 19 minutes approaching. Still a small lead for Chaotic Disposition, but EGEL are still in this fight 100%. They have the scaling as one of their arguments. I mean, Westy going in for the engage, but it's only the Hecarim. And yeah, that was definitely not it. Will that convert to anything major? I mean, the Herald is still up. EGL will take that one. Committing 2 of their members, the jungler and support, towards the Herald means that Johnny G just gets that extra time to do stuff on the other side of the map. Push the wave all the way up. Ekram is still here. The Sky's Descent from Aurelian Soul. They want to keep this going, but the Encore will land. Flawless Duet will not. Here comes the bullet time. Will channel fully onto the Aurelia, but it doesn't matter. She can just charge the W in the meantime. GGEL are floundering right now. They are choosing the wrong times to fight. It feels like a similar story compared to what happened yesterday. When it comes to those last hurdles, they are not quite well coordinated, or they are just not, they can't withstand the pressure, and they're just choosing the wrong times to engage. And this will surely be Baron for Chaotic Disposition. It wasn't an easy road for them this game, but this is definitely a crucial point in this game. Now with Aurelia even stronger, heading towards the Sundered Sky, Vi also in a pretty good position. Brand at 2 items. Very crucial Riley's Crystal Scepter to keep everyone in the same spot. And give Aurelia and Vi more opportunities to keep fighting. Wow. Johnny G almost got hit there by the Rift Herald. I feel like he could have been in trouble if that actually connected on him. Bekla had Encore that whole time. That could have been even worse than it already is. Krisha Sibioti, completely uncontested in the bot side, taking down that tower. And this difference between top laners is now quite apparent. All that extra gold that he managed to get for himself. We'll see if CHD can do anything more with his Baron. EGL are trying to catch someone on the rotation, but CHD are keeping grouped. Not letting GGL have the chance, but Johnny G, he is the one in front. No one is there to protect him, and he instantly gets jumped by the entire team of CHD, and that's right before the dragon spawns as well. So that could have been an opportunity for GGL to get Cloud Soul, but now they will not even, they can't really contest it. They can't buy time for ASOL to respawn and TP into the fight. It's still 15 seconds until that death timer passes. And Christian Simeone, oh, he might just die from the Noxian Guillotine, but he knew his limits exactly to the T. He stays alive. So GGL, not even one pick in that whole sequence. The gold lead gets bigger by the minute. And it gets really, really hard to win those fights, especially when Seraphine is untouched in the backline. I feel like pretty much every single fight we've seen it happen just like that. Like, the team structure of CHD is pretty much just untouched. They are able to fight front to back or get a pick exactly like that, where it doesn't really take a whole lot to kill one person. Cease and desist from Queen Jathe rings true once again, and they might even get more. The Aesol and the Darius are not reacting fast enough to the rotation. The pull will save Johnny G, but not for long. But Decimate will keep Darius alive for an extra second. But that is perhaps all she wrote for GGL. Not quite yet, since there is a minion wave that is yet to hit the tower. And by that point, GGL should be able to defend. It feels like CHD are not quite done here. They want to keep things going. There's an extra mid-tier 1 tower, the tier 2 tower it's still standing. Well, they will get that one as well. Regline onto Westy. I mean, there's enough CC in there to just get that pick for free. Onslaught of Shadows from Toxic Coffee does exactly nothing, as there's no Aurelion Soul in the fight to take advantage of the fear. And this is Chaotic Disposition very much in control of this game now. Feels like the wheels came loose for GGL quite a long time ago. And now they're just kind of... They seem quite unsure of how to come back into this game. Making individual mistakes that just make their position even harder than it already is. That was an interesting pick attempt there. Almost caught the brand. But one burned summoner is not going to be enough to turn this game around. What is it going to take for GGL to actually be able to fight back? Still waiting for a mortal reminder from Misfortune. And the heal cut is there though. And GGL ideally would love to get a team fight where just everyone is clumped up and they're able to fire off all their ultimates in quick succession, but CHD are just playing a lot faster on the map right now, and they're not really giving GGL opportunities to get a team fight like that off easily. And now it's onto the Baron. And GGL, it feels like they will not be able to respond in time. This Baron is already burning down. 1200 HP. Toxic Coffee runs in with the smite, but he will not get it. GGL decides to take the fight anyway. Encore will hit Johnny G. Queen Jaffe with the Vi onto the backline. Johnny G is still standing though. Christian Simeone, however, he is absolutely crushing this fight with the lead that he managed to build up in the early game. This game is his to take. It started with the top laner getting that kill, and it will end with a top laner destroying the team fight. This is Christian Simeone's team, and he lets everyone know that is the case. Chaotic Disposition are very close to their second win, but it will take one more fight. The true confidence on display from Christian Simeone is still very much there. The things we saw on 5-minute break, the solo carry performances, especially in the grand final, that part is still very much there, present in the new season, even though the team is pretty much... Every piece around him is different, but the star player remains the same. Now, is Chaotic Disposition able to close this game out without Baron? Will they have to wait for that second Baron in order to close things out? The Baron that they currently have will run out eventually. CHD onto Vidarius. The Vi is strong enough, but he should be just able to kill Vidarius, but that heal from Decimate actually keeping him alive. miraculously, but yeah, I guess he knew that his fate was sealed. Nautilus was coming out on the other side, and Chaotic Disposition are just putting a stranglehold right now on the enemy base, attacking from all angles. GGL, they try to take the fight on one side, but Bullet Time almost kills, but it's not quite enough. Christian Simeone cuts up the backline once more. Johnny G also in trouble at the bottom inhibitor. He is the next one to fall, and that has to be game. The minion waves are there to finish things off. Chaotic Disposition still undefeated in Season 11. In the early game, they were definitely met with a lot of resistance, but I think in the mid game is where we saw GGL unfortunately just unravel, and CHD with a lot more UNL experience under their belts, they were able to maneuver in the mid game a lot more efficiently, just a lot more skillfully as well.